Right, so today is time to unbox the PS4 Pro. Now I'm not just going to do an unboxing, I want to do a proper video. I haven't seen anyone do a proper video on the PS4 Pro. And what I mean is a lot of things. So I'm confused. The PS4 Pro isn't a proper 4K console. We know that. It up-reses games to 4K. It also does downsampling to run games on 1080p screens, so you'll get a better experience no matter what TV you're on. But my question is, how the hell are people doing 4K videos showing you comparisons of 4K when you can't capture 4K right now unless you're on PC? That's my main question, and we're going to find that out together in this video. So first off, we're going to do a quick unboxing. I'm not going to do a whole process, but I also decided to pick up an external hard drive. And you're like, why'd you buy an external? You can't to save things to external on PS. I'm going to take it out, put the hard drive in the case. It's 2 terabytes, so I'm going from 1 terabyte to 2 terabyte, and I'll have a 1 terabyte external that I can use to put porn on or something. I don't know. Got to do this part on a bit of angle because I don't have enough room. Let's get the PS4. Get out of here. Here it is, the PS4 Pro. It's pretty big, pretty hefty. It's not as heavy as I thought it would be, honestly. First stop on the unboxing I wanted to make is the new controller. So the new controller is a little different to the old one if you don't know, and I'm going to show you how it is different. Right here are both PlayStation 4 controllers that were released. The only difference on mine is that it won't be on yours is I've got Xbox One analogs on here because my original controller one's ripped, as you know. But since PlayStation have fixed that, the rubber doesn't rip anymore, or it doesn't rip as quickly. But any difference? Not really at all. The main difference I see is the color of the buttons is like gray, like it was on older PlayStation consoles, whereas on that one they're black. Honestly, I prefer the black one. I think the black one looks a bit more clean and solid, but other than that, I think the back is a different type of material. It's not as... No, I'd say it's about the same, honestly. Overall, it's about the same, and there's like a little light bar. Oh, the touchpad's shinier. That's one thing. I don't know if it'll show it, but yeah, there you go. There's a light at the top of this PlayStation controller, whereas on this one, it's only that light there. But yeah, other than that, basically the same. Okay, here it is. My PS4 for the first time in my hands, and it's not as heavy as I thought it would be, honestly. It feels heavier than the other one, but not too much. And you can already see fingerprints I'm leaving on it. It's fine, it's matte, it'll go away. Now, most people watching this video will already have seen a kind of overview of the console, but hey, I've got to show you, because I can't just unbox it and say, well, I'm going to turn it on now, but I'm not going to show the full overview and everything like everyone's already done ever, because, well, I don't really need to, because you would have already seen videos on it. I don't know what I just pressed on my camera. Okay, so the sound's going to be a little bit different because I'm using the microphone on my camera, so I'm not using this thing. Anyway, the point is, we set up the PlayStation 4 Pro. I transferred everything across, and it took around an hour and a half to copy everything across, and I had 370 gigs of data, which is pretty average, I would say. Some people may have more, but I had quite a lot, and I had to remove a lot of games to install all the games, so I got to that point. But anyway, you get the idea. That's that out of the way. We're going to go into the sound and screen, and this is, I imagine, where display area settings, video output settings. So you can see the resolution is on automatic. And you can see here, we have got lots of options. So first things, I'm going to put HDR onto automatic. I don't have HDR right now. I'm going to get a 4K HDR TV. Probably Black Friday probably makes sense to get one. And then video output information, you can see very much here what is working. So we've got HDCP off. I actually have it enabled, but I've got like a bypass thing, because that's how it's working. HDR, I know I've actually disabled in the update because I transferred something across. Anyway, HDR TV not supported, and we're at 1080p. Okay, here comes the real talk part. So As I said, I'm running a 1080p screen. You can probably tell it's slightly different. You probably might not be able to tell anything at all. And when it comes down to it, if you're using a 1080p screen on the PS4 Pro, the only major change you will see on some games, may I say, because GTA, for example, doesn't have it. Call of Duty does have it. I'm trying to think like the biggest games. Destiny, I don't think has anything. You know, the big games are still not having like the support that you would think. But the general idea is you will probably see less jagged edges on 1080p and on 4K. And that's pretty much it for the 1080p version. Unless you have a 4K TV, unless you have a HDR TV. Actually, no, scrap that, because if you have a HDR TV, you can literally buy, well, a original PS4 and just use the HDR option on that, because all of them got the update. But yeah, there's pretty much... I just killed that one, I'm sorry. Oh, don't call the police! Yeah, things look a little bit sharper. Things have less jaggy edges everywhere, so less aliasing, better anti-aliasing. And if that's not the case, the biggest change I have seen on the PlayStation 4 Pro, or heard on the PlayStation 4 Pro thus far, is the sound of that fucking console. That console is hecka loud. I just realised I don't have my headphones on. But that thing is so loud. It's not that loud. The best way to say it is like my friend has a very loud PlayStation 4, the original one. Mine was always very quiet. When you play like Need for Speed, for example, or when you played a heavy game for the first time, it would sometimes get loud. My friends gets loud all the time, but I would say it's just as loud as that. Because again, it's running at 4K and downsampling on a lot of occasions. Not running at 4K, but it's a weird process. Okay, the best way for me to explain it, because Sony hasn't explained it themselves, so I'm going to do my best to explain it. What the PlayStation 4 Pro is doing here right now on this game, on the majority of games you will play on 1080p, is it's upscaling to, well, it's not upscaling, it's literally running the game at under 4K. So let's say 1440p, let's say 2K, okay? That's where the game's running at. And then it's upsampling that to 4K and doing some weird method to make it a bit smoother than normal, just upscaling. And then downscaling it again to 1080p. Is this a bit over the top and useless? Yes, I would say so. Like, honestly, I do feel as if you have a 1080p screen, you shouldn't really buy it. Whatever publications say, whatever anyone's like, unless you have the money to throw away and feel kind of somewhat disappointed almost, or jagged edges are literally the devil to you, then I keep pressing that button because I've been playing a different game. Then it's not really worth getting a PS4 Pro right now. Let's try one more game. So another example is Ratchet & Clank, which is a game I have yet to finish. I said I wanted to do like a full-on Let's Play of it, but I haven't done it yet, and I still haven't finished the game, which is really weird. But this game looks fucking stunning no matter what platform you play it on. But again, a good example here, everything just looks smoother. And I think my end point is, a lot of the 4K comparisons you're seeing probably aren't actually 4K. Because the reason of this... like, a lot of them will be just upscaling the 1080p image, or... I don't know what the hell they're doing, honestly, but a lot of the comparisons you see are literally going to be the 1080p versus the 1080p that you see here. And the 4K doesn't exist. There's no... I don't think any games that are actual native 4K, they're just upscaled from, like pretty, let's say 2000p, which is pretty close to 4K. I don't know the exact number, it varies depending on game, but I mean, this game I'd say has had better improvements. I can still see a little bit of jagged edges over on that building, but literally this thing looks so smooth now. And again, literally the biggest change for me that I've experienced from playing these games currently is the console itself is a little bit louder. Now, one final thing I wish to do before we end this video is if I go back into the video settings, we're going to go over to here. Obviously, we're stuck in the 1080p mode. We can't go in those. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use the cable they supplied. Now, I pretty much 99.9% positive my cables are all 4K, whatever, better, the 2.0 HDMI resolution, but I need to make sure. Back on the game, you can't see it because, again, I'm using a different connection just to make sure I'm using it at the utmost best settings. It's exactly the same. So, in result, I guess you would say, it's a bit shit unless you have a 4K TV. And honestly, personal opinion here, I'm still not 100% getting a 4K TV because I don't feel as if, number one, I can't record in that. Number two, I don't feel as if it's very useful, especially when I use mostly smaller screens. I mean, it'd look cool if I could have a small 4K screen, but that's not going to be happening. The way to round it off is me, I'm going to say I'm underwhelmed. I expected a bit more, and unless you have 4K, then don't get it. And obviously, if you have a PC and you don't play any exclusive Sony games, then don't even bother with it at all. Like, there's no point playing third-party games when you have PC that you can play it. It's a bit shit. And that's coming from a PlayStation-sided person. As you know, I mostly play on PlayStation. Just to say now that this is actually going to be my main PlayStation now that I'm going to be playing all my games on from now. Well, I say that, I've got some footage backlog that is from the old PS4, but I'll tell you when I start using the PlayStation 4 Pro and you'll see it. And yeah. But thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know your thoughts on the PS4 Pro. I'm hopefully going to get a 4K TV soon. And I can't really show you a video of that in 4K. But I mean, you've seen YouTube videos. Why do people upload? I don't get it. What? How can general bastards upload? Doesn't make sense. Be sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.